Good evening, UK time, whilst we're in America once more for the World Super Touring Championship Season 3. We're at Watkins, Glen, still west coast, further north of the Blue Moon Bay circuit where we were less than a year ago. And on pole, yet to win this season, third place in the championship, Sophia Schneider, ahead of race winner extraordinaire at Dragon Trail Gardens, Nico Wirtz. Adrian Michael Rees here, alongside me, Christian Shepherd. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
And on the pit wall, on the American-style pit wall, for a change, back in his natural habitat after a couple of years in America there, Michael Swinnerton. Can you hear us?
Natural habitat? Okay, I'll go with that, I suppose. It's kind of comfy having a whole pit box on this side of the other wall, as it were.
And the sun beating down as we are midday US time, US Eastern. Schneider on pole, front wheel drive, going to be struggling as Duma and the Privateer Alpha getting a much better jump than the Fisichella factory Alpha as they head into the 90. And there's Jamie Webber around the outside of about 3 or 4 cars there, up to 4th. Flat out now through to the inner loop, the chicane at the end of the backstretch. Already a fairly sensible line of cars, apart from a couple of privateers there. And Sweeney's driver Ingram trying to make up for lost time as he's off already.
Trying to go for a gap that wasn't there.
The Renault's also struggling in qualifying, as you can see. Through the loop they go, but it's still very spread out early days yet. Rookie Salo in 6th doing a good job. Suarez falling back. How many times have we seen that before? The two Tamiya Hondas in a decent points paying position.
Keller trying to come back at Webber here.
We are on the NASCAR variant, so the boot is completely bypassed. Almost like the traditional Formula 1 circuit used to, straight into the final turn there. Fisichella's on board. Webber in front, trying to steal a march on Wirtz, who's not the best of luck on that start. But being swamped by rear-wheel drive cars, what can indeed anyone do? Lap 1 completed.
Take an interesting line through there as well. The two Hondas as well. Looking at trying to take Sala, who drops a place from his starting position.
Honda's joined at the hip almost, but Thompson ahead of his rookie teammate Lammers. There'll be a squeeze on through the loop here.
Yeah. It's Keller.
Squeezes.
Interesting line. Lammers might have his teammate here. Coming into the... Yeah, naps him into the carousel. Thompson went for a move, it didn't work out. Lammers has now got the position. Thompson's coming back. He's gone straight back through.
And so is Wittmann, by the looks of it, down on the inside of Lammers.
Lammers sticks to the inside. That should be controllable from there, but no.
Here we go.
Through. E-Day looking as well with Butcher.
And the Honda teammate. We're still yet to hear from Toyota headquarters about the commitment to next season with this car. A little bit worrying considering they made the effort last season. Not so much this year. Kind of a good indicator of their intent as you see Felix Rydell almost into the back of Sergio Suarez as they head through the S's. Wickens and Kobayashi rounding out the points so far as Renault failed to make a dent in these early laps. Ingram making up for that run off onto the grass there. Carlos Poulo
really struggling, isn't he, Carlos Poulo, very recently?
Gasho almost
win at Barcelona.
Yeah, that inside apex, Gasho not only took that but nearly took himself out on the Armco through the first part of the loop. Schneider still leads, and I think there's a sizable gap there already.
Dumas.
Wirtz is up to 2nd. Dumas was already down to 3rd, and Fisichella. Okay, yeah, Dumas. Okay, we might just need to see I think something happened within the region of the inner loop.
Yes, they're all really bunched together. Weber getting attacked by Sala, who wants his 5th place back.
Absolutely flying, this boy. Down the inside of the 90. That's going to be hook, line, and sinker. Unless Weber's power got it. He's got it. Up to 5th.
Yeah,
Fitman 7th.
Thompson
8th.
Yeah. A lot of things went on here while we were watching towards the back there, unfortunately.
Well, I'm pretty sure the news is that there's no team orders at Honda, and I think the team orders would have helped them maintain those higher positions. Obviously, it hasn't happened. Master in 4th, looking to get to the back front. Fisichella, there's 2 wide through the loop here.
Fisichella's dropped back.
Weber wants that.
Whitman now. Not Fisichella, sorry. Weber's dropped back behind Whitman for a second there. Why say Fisichella? That's on me.
The outside. The Worlds were here for Season 1, and I think it was with good reason that they've used this layout, because already, quarter of the way through, despite the, what seemed to be a sizable gap from Schneider, close action all round so far.
Oh, look at that pull he gets off the corner.
Not enough slipstream for Fisichella to munch on, but there's Dumas, could outbreak. But Weber has already...
he's back up. He's now up to 4th. Weber in the space of the lap has gone down to up 3. Salo just not able to do much about Dumas right now. Dumas is just dropping back.
Now, remind me, Swinney, we weren't here for Season 1. We're using the shorter variant this time around, aren't we?
Yeah, Season 1 we went all the way around the boot.
Butcher up to 8th place.
I can only assume there was perhaps some safety concerns in not using this, but we're seeing the decision and the rewards that are being reaped here. As Lamas around the outside of Thompson here.
These the 2 Hondas fighting, probably not for the best at the moment, considering they've been dropping from about 6th, 7th place.
They're in good attendance with the other Japanese rivals there. Scraping into the top 10, top 8, Butcher, Ide 9th. Because Weber managed to get that 4th back, but he's not enough of a space. And there goes Victor into the back of Salo. Yeah, and Butcher up to 6th. Yeah, there is some power to be had in that car.
There is. With Salo, he got concertined from Dumas, who had to back off. Not going to make Salo too impressed now, dropping to 7th.
So we're still trying to find a way into the top 10, as is Rydell. And it's going to be a Honda train by the looks of it, a Honda Triage. Trinity.
Well, Honda Detroit, is that what you're trying to get with her? Not quite with Suarez, kind of messing up that one. Oh! Lamas is now ahead of Whitman.
Those Hondas will allow you to go to the doctors. That's what that Triage was for. Schneider still needs reverts or whatever. Trying to crowbar an excuse in, let's move on. And Butcher still 6th.
Could you imagine trying to pen all these position changes over the last couple of laps? It's been absolutely insane.
That gap's come down again. Wirtz is closing in on Schneider. Schneider still with the fastest lap, despite the potential for all those long straights to slipstream amongst the midfield. Ide up to 8th. Salo not only looking to defend, but to...
I'm not so sure either. You think he might attack, but he might have to...
No, Ide's got to move on for the chicane, I doubt, the loop, because the slipstream is there, as is Lamas, the power of the Honda as well. Defended from Salo. So no move there. But that wobble on should spark Lamas into action. Not... Okay, I thought he was going to be there or thereabouts, but too far back this time by. And there's Fisichella now
Yeah, chopping
Weber
and
up to
changing
third.
with Weber.
Weber up
Yeah,
to
Weber's
third,
been-
look.
He's been for the last 2 laps. It's been chopping and changing with Fisichella.
Well, if
Dumas
he
is
doesn't
still
have the
there
fast-
despite the drop off.
Now, if he doesn't have the fastest lap this time by I'm a Dutchman.
I don't believe he should have the fastest lap. He was in third to begin with at the start of this lap. If I'm not
He's
mistaken.
been flying. Alright, hello Jakob. Orange Boom Klondike Windmill. Hi, I'm the Dutchman. You didn't get the fastest lap, never mind. Schneider still leads, but Weber up to third.
Yeah, Butcher past Dumas. Dumas again got caught in the fights ahead of him and has lost another position. Absolutely flying, Butcher. Butcher might get another one here with Fisichella.
Not with a bit of a capitulation going on there.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Toyotas not putting the routes it's currently in, but Butcher certainly showing if he has to move.
Yeah, this is commitment. This is a message back to HQ in Japan.
Fisichella up the inside.
This is where
That's in the
Butcher
way.
should, yeah, this is where Butcher should really look to capitalise, but still safety first.
Weber to second. Weber's to second.
Weber's definitely second. We got BMW 1-2. Indeed in good form. There's Butcher down the inside of Fisichella. Could get it back for the final turn. No, he doesn't.
Oh, he's gone around the
Butcher
outside of him
is on
before the
fourth, so
start.
that's
Dumas now challenging.
Weber's gaining on a Schneider as well.
Yes, indeed. Makes a move. Oh, that's a naughty move with your teammate.
Swinny, has it ever been sort of just sort of broadcasted that there's no team orders, or there is team orders at specific teams, like what we're seeing right now with BMW?
I've not heard any team orders, but then I've only ever driven for a one-car team and managed a one-car team, so I couldn't tell you on that front. Maybe BMW have some orders going on, but by the looks of it, no, they don't, given
That
their
is
championship
definitely-
potential. Same with Honda. I don't think there are team orders, but you can never rule it out.
And a fantastic battle through the loop, onto the outer loop. One of the best turns on the circuit, if not in America. They are still
Butcher's up to
side
third.
by side before that penultimate left-hander. Butcher up to third. Weber and Schneider in a bit of a committee meeting about the lead. Who's going to be further back for race 2? No me, no me, no me. But speaking of which, that tussle has meant Butcher's Toyota power is now going to be there for all to see. Down the inside, into the 90, up to second. This is a cracking run from Butcher. And in fairness, Toyota in general, E-Day up to 7th ahead of Lammers. And Salo has started to fall back somewhat. Dumas still 6th. Salo down to 10th. So Thompson and Lammers took advantage somewhere along the line as Rydell looks to take that second-hand Honda up into a good position as well. It's already in a good position considering the Tamiya
The
team.
inside, maybe?
E-Day.
Not quite. Yeah, Fisichella down to 5th now.
And we are past halfway, and look at that track map. No stragglers. Everyone is
None
still in
yet.
it. None yet, but it's still early days, but we normally see 1 or 2 by now, starting to fall back through technicalities and just trying to get the car to the end to claim the crumb of comfort that is prize and finishing money. Fisichella still 5th, Dumas blocking off E-Day's intentions there. Schneider still with the fastest lap. 7 to go. 6 to go across the line, rather. Verts 4th. Honda's still formation flying somehow. As Thompson goes, around the outside of Lammers into the 90.
Yes, indeed.
Well executed.
Toyota. Oh,
Enough
this is
of a
having given to
blocker
the
for
other one.
Salo.
Checking the leaders at the moment. Still Butcher in second, Schneider leading. Fisichella looking up the inside
Verts
of
with a
that.
defensive run. Enough of a changer that Fisichella wasn't on the inside as Dumas loses the position of 6th to Edey's up to lose 6th, 7th to Thompson.
Not just yet. We'll see how well he does around the outside. It doesn't look like he's lost
Clear.
entirely though.
However, Alpha Power, look at that. Okay. That's... Where was this earlier? We'll never know.
Well, it can be quite faster around the carousel. You get on the power earlier, so that would explain why he was able to get back ahead.
The top 3, well, I was going to say they were very close. They're still not enough to change position yet. Vert's being a bit of a cork now. And the train behind, the crocodile behind. And what should be the privateer cluster starting to fall back. There are a few works cars there, especially the Renaults.
Very slow through turn 1, has lost to Dumas.
Now back up to 6th.
Those two Hondas are a right off scrap, aren't they? All race so far.
I think this might be significant of the international inexperience, shall we say, of Kazuki Idei. Japanese regular before the switch. Vert's still 4th, Fisichella. But Idei's back up to 6th again, as they swap positions. Well, it was almost a dive down the inside of Fisichella there, but the line was definitely not there. Thompson and Lama still joined at the hip.
It's also not the first time that Dumas has been caught in a concertina, in fact. He seems to get too close to the guys in front.
A brief glimpse of Butcher and Webber. Just to the end of the long shot there. But Duma losing that to... almost losing that to Idei again. This has been a very decent race so far. 4 to go. 5 to go.
So, just a technical thing. I think what we're seeing is it's less of a horsepower issue coming out of the carousel. It's more of a front-wheel drive versus a rear-wheel drive issue. Because if you're noticing, a lot of the rear-wheel drive cars are getting a really good run going around that high line coming out the carousel, which is giving them the speed to get alongside the car in front of them, whereas the fronties don't really do that and hug the inside an awful lot more.
Symptomatic of a majority of American circuits, but as we know, they go in the opposite direction and only turn left. But obviously the tread pattern is definitely there from another event where stock cars had been present doing this very circuit. The grip is definitely there then.
He drops all the way down to 9th at one stage there due to the whole kerfuffle, but it's now up to 9th.
He's been there or thereabouts really, hasn't he? He's been 9th, 8th, 9th, 10th and sort of tends to gravitate back to 9th as Vert's still holding everyone up and the top 3 are now gone. Not even in the same shot on the start-finish line.
Thompson looking up the inside of Dumas with Idei coming
That's
with him.
3 wide. We haven't had a 3 wide in ages. Idei up to 6th.
Yeah. Caution, better part of Valor there.
As that's happening, top 3 are headed for the inner loop. Still in position. Formation flying between rear-wheel drive, big name manufacturers. It's the first time we've had a decent finish for a Toyota with about 4 to go, 3.5 to go. Which has had a win this season, but the form book is definitely not there. But this should bring a smile to the team for this race at least. But there goes Idei up to 5th. This has been threatened for quite some time in the last few laps, but Fisichella once again, the grip, multiple lines, which I kind of assumed weren't going to be there, but here they are, making the racing twice as fun as they were last time by.
Verts is definitely holding him up here, there's no denying that. But because they haven't found a single place to overtake him, all it's doing is causing them to trip over each other on almost every single lap.
It has allowed Webber to get the fastest lap off of Schneider by almost a whole second. I think that's half a second that Webber's managed to get that time done in. clinging onto the shirt tails aerodynamically of the Butcher Toyota. There's Rydell in 12th. Webber threatening a move. But we still look at this for our hub of all the excitement that's remaining in the last 2.5 laps then.
Yeah, Suarez looks like he's holding up the next couple of cars, but he's holding up this current one.
Ingram scraping into the points there. Off the back of Suarez, who hasn't had the best of days and not the best of season compared to the last time with the Scirocco. I'm still feeling the weight of all that change from the lighter version of the hatchback. And speaking of lighter versions, there goes Ingram in a much lighter car compared to the 6 that his team boss and former driver was running last season. That was a little bit rude of Suarez, but it still maintained Ingram's position in 13th. Ide with a 5th. The power's there. Is Ide going to pop that cork? It's been on the cards.
Fisichella's dropped to 7th behind Dumas now.
Dumas. Formation flame between
Dumas is
Alphas.
going to lose a position. Oh, Dumas.
Just under a lap. Just over a lap to go for the top 3 as they about to approach the final turn with 1 to go. Still Schneider, Butcher, Webber top 3. On board with Dumas. There goes Lammers. Once we look at that, I'm still looking at the telemetry for the top 3. Up the hill of the S as they go. Schneider still with the lead since the start. Butcher with an absolute surge on. We were expecting that to go all the way to the top, but obviously BMW saw what was happening, whether they had to conserve their tyres in the first stages. It's and even faster again, of course he was. Last flat out stretch to go. Hertz and Ide, there's a 4 wider there as Fisichella back up to 5th, almost to 4th.
Oh, Ide might be through here.
Ide has got on the inside for 4th. Of all the efforts that Volkswagen had, it's now falling back even more than Suarez has had. But after the final turn, it's Schneider with the win, Butcher still second. So they will be on for the podium, but we've got
Schneider
more
just
time.
got the fastest lap.
She certainly did. So extra points. Extra points received once more. Ide, a cracking drive from both Toyotas, so that should send a message somewhere, not just through this broadcast, but to certain executives in a certain part of Japan to influence their decision. Ingram with a decent finish, having started last on the grid. Suarez though, and then you see the privateer pack there, but there's some Renaults in there that they've had some bad days, but my word, was this a bad day for them. Schneider with the win then, and we've got another about 2 hours now before we see race 2 on the reverse grid, so Schneider will be 10th. If we might have to go back and see who finished 10th to find out who's on pole, and that's going to be Thompson. Now then, that's going to be some questions there. Did he bail out to get pole, we wonder? We'll have to find out.
I don't believe so.
That was a good one, wasn't it? Normally with race 1s, we kind of expect the excitement to be with race 2 as per normal, but I think the track kind of enhanced that excitement we were expecting.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
it rubbered in fast.
And how was the race for Ingram there, Swinney?
Yeah, we're going to have to look at a couple of corners of the car where a bit of damage has been sustained. But yeah, no, to go from 12th to 13th and pick up 7 spots over one race, cannot complain about that at all.
And that should be putting him in a decent position for race 2 as well, where we do see the the race winner having at the start tend to not get the best of starts in race 2 as well, so that should be something to look forward to. I certainly am. And on behalf of Christian Shepherd and Swinney in the pits, we'll see you later. Good racing, everyone.